Hi everyone, and welcome to our video to go over how to use our blank tags. Now obviously in all of our kits you'll see, let's just go to one real quick here. Here we go. This is our Spring Wellies collection that just was recently released. You see that we do have these blank tags. So a lot of times the reason we're giving you the blank tags, and Mary Fran includes so many for you in the different styles and different formats, and the same thing goes with any of these, like the oval journal tags, all the things that are basically left blank for you to fill in. The point of it is because A, we know that not everyone has English as their primary language. We do sell worldwide, and we have many, many customers from many non-English speaking countries. As well, we may not, within the tags that Mary Fran has included, such as the ones she's done here, A Perfect Day, Life is Wonderful, The Good Life, all that kind of stuff, it may not be exactly what your vision was. You may be using this kit as a Mother's Day collection, and you're making something great with your mom, for your mom. There you're using the hat because she's maybe a gardener, or, that's her style, things like that, and you want to actually use these blank tags and write on them, and print them out so that way you have something that is really well done. It looks like it coordinates with this, rather than having to get out a pen and having to do it that way, and so on and so forth. So what I wanted to do today is to show you how to do that. Well, the program that I'm using is GIMP. You can download it for free. It is a free program. You're not pirating anything. This is completely free from gimp.org. And it is a free download. It's simple to use. And in using digital products such as ours, you're going to want to have a program like this so that way you can shrink and resize. And you'll see some of the other videos, the how-to videos, does use this program. And I find it's the easiest because it is a free program. You don't have to go out and purchase anything. So how do we do this? When you're in GIMP, let's do one quick thing. When you open GIMP up, this is pretty much what you see. So you kind of have this blank screen. You have all your toolbar over here. The only other one that doesn't automatically open for you is your layers palette. We've talked about that before, and I'll cover that a little bit more in this video. And how to get that one to appear is you go to Windows, click on the word Windows, go to Dockable Dialogues, and then this shows you all the different panels that you can actually have appear for yourself. We want to click on Layers, okay? So we take that Layers palette, we put it over here, just so it makes it look nice, just like the other side. We move our cursor around until you get that where it appears with an arrow up top and an arrow below. And then you hold down your left mouse button and you drag it till you get it so it's the right size for you. Just a little housekeeping basically is all we're doing. So what we want to do is we first want to have a new project that we're creating. Okay? When you do this, you can create and you can save this if you want, or whatever you want to call it. But basically we want an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. Now normally when you open this up, it's in pixels, okay? So we don't really have to know that, okay? In terms of pixels, we want it to be in inches or possibly in millimeters for those of you in using the metric system in Europe and stuff like that. That'll make things much easier for you, okay? For here in North America, I'll just use inches. It makes it very simple. The second thing is when we click on the advanced options, we always want to make sure that this is at 300, okay? Our resolution, that's 300, and we call it pixels per inch or whatever, or dots per inch, right? DPI, you'll hear that before. The reason we want to do that is because that is high quality, okay? When you get something like an image on the internet, when we save our previews for our website, stuff like that, it's at 72. What the difference is at 300, it means you can enlarge things or shrink things without getting it all pixelized and it looking all fuzzy and all weird. Okay? So for housekeeping wise, there we go. We have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So that way when you're printing, you kind of have to know what rough size it is. So the first thing we want to do is go to our Spring Wellies folder, and I'll just choose this one word strip. It'll just make it easy. And we do what we call drag and drop. So you press on that, you hold down your left mouse button on this image, you keep holding it, you drag your mouse up to here, you release your mouse button, and there you go. So that's called drag and drop, okay? So in order to now move this around on our page, because obviously we're going to want to print more things, we go up here and we select our move tool, which is the one that has all the 4 arrows on it. Okay, so you just left click on that. That means that's the tool that's active. Now I come back to my image over here on my blank tag. I click on it once just to make sure it's highlighted, and now I can move it to wherever I want on the page. Okay, simple. Next thing, I'll just move it into the center here just so it's easy, right? The next thing is we go back to our tools and we want our text tool, which is the big giant letter A. So we click on that. We click into the small part of this tag and we say, okay, let's just say we want to use the word spring. Okay, so we type in the word spring. Now, as you can see, this is really, really small. Okay, it's going to be hard to work in. See down at the bottom of the page here? See how it has a percentage and how many inches and everything else? You can use that if you want to change the size, or you can hold down your control key on your keyboard and push, oh, sorry. Actually, let's do this. Let's take and blow this up to 300%. Holy smokes, that's way too much. Let's go to 150%. There we go. So now, as you can see, it makes it nice and big. For those of us with not the youngest eyes, and I am one of those people, we're actually still a little large here. Let's go to 100%. There we go. Okay, so now we can actually see the entire tag. We can see our font. We know what's going on here. So when you put the font in, as you'll see, there's 4 little boxes or 4 little squares on the edge. Basically what those things are is, I'm going to stretch that one. That is saying how big of an area do you want in order to be able to write in. Okay, well, we want basically this whole area. So when we drag those little squares, now that gives me this font now has this entire area to be written into. So now when we take that font and we say, okay, there's our spring. Number 1, we want to change the font style on it, and number 2, we want to change the size on it. How do we do that? Well, with our font tool still selected, we hold down our left mouse button and we drag it across that word to highlight that word. Now we can make and change this. So let's change this to, I don't know, let's go up really big at first. Let's change it to 80 for a size, then press our enter key. Okay, that's not quite large enough. Let's go to 180. There we go. Now we're starting to get in the range. Now we want to change our font. So if we just, again, highlight that word so that way it's saying, you know what, that's what we want to change. Just push the letter A on your keyboard. Now it comes up with everything that is A, that is listed as the letter A, for fonts that I have in my computer. Now you're not necessarily going to have all these because we have purchased fonts that we use when we create things and things like that. But you can get fonts on the on the internet. You can go to places and buy fonts if you happen to like one, and then that way you can use it all the time. Just like you're buying our kits and you get to use them all the time. That may be handy for you. But as well, your computer does come with a reasonable amount of fonts. So when you're starting out, just use those ones. So again, I just chose out of the A's. I could highlight this again, chose out of the B, right? So now I've got different fonts there as well, right? But in choosing A, not such a bad thing, right? It gives me access to plenty of fonts, and I just happened to pick one that I liked. Okay? So now there we go. There is our word. Now again, this is too small for what we want to do. So what do? We press down our left mouse button, we highlight the word, we come up here, we press down our left mouse button, we highlight the number. So let's go up to 280 and see where that gets us. So that's not bad. Let's try 300. Okay. So there's 300. Now that we've filled up the space, we know we can't really make it any larger or else it'll hang over into the floral part that Mary Fran has created. Let's go back up and grab our move tool, which is again the one with the 4 arrows on it. Let's click on our word spring, and now we can move that word around to anywhere on that tag we want. There it is there. Okay? So now when you go ahead and you print this, you have printed it and it has the word spring on it. How lovely is that, right? Now that is how you use it. Okay? That is what we want to do in terms of allowing you to create and put in whatever word or name or phrase or date or whatever you want to do you can do this now in GIMP and have a professional looking thing when it is printed for you, for those of you that are printing. For those of you that are using it digitally, well, I'm sure you're either using GIMP, you're using Photoshop Elements, things like that. So you probably know how to already do this. But for those of you that are wanting to print on it, or wanting, to write your font on it and then print this out and craft in physical paper, there's how it's done. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please, before you leave, look down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. You'll see our Nitwit Collections logo, and if you click on that, you'll be subscribed to our YouTube channel, which will let you know whenever new videos are placed up. As well, give us a thumbs up and let us know your thoughts on this. Leave us a comment. Let us know if you found this video tutorial helpful. Let us know if you still had some more questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions if I went through something too quickly or didn't cover off on something. I never have a problem answering any questions that may arise for you. Thanks once again, and I hope this is now added to your creative abilities and also in order to make your creating so much easier. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.